weeks ago, they couldn't even see over the log. How old are these pups?
These guys are about 4 weeks old now, and they're, I mean, I've got to say dogs are always great, but this is probably one of the cutest stages of their life, and it's also the time when we can really start developing their self-confidence. But actually we do that by the day they're born. We pick up each one of them and we hold them in our hands just like this, and even though their eyes are closed, they already you know, associate that feeling of comfort and security like this one has with us, and so when their eyes open and they can start walking around like these guys, they know us and that they trust us, and they want to go on little adventures, and that gives us a great opportunity to help them develop their self-confidence. Well, for example, they're running around quite a bit now, but you just saw Laura a second ago. She was encouraging these guys to make it across the log. Well, at first they can't make it. And so we always help them across, but the time comes when they do make it, and then we give them lots of praise on the other on the other side, and that really teaches them two things. Number one, it teaches them we're not asking them to do anything impossible, but second, and by far the most important thing we learn, is that we'll always be there to help them if the going gets tough, and that pays huge dividends when we're on the trail together with them later on in life.
Well, this has really been fun to watch this litter develop, and now, of course, they're eventually going to outgrow this area, so how does the training progress from here?
Well, the training actually progresses. We like to put a little achievable goals in their ways, so the next time after they're done with this, you can see they're starting to follow Laura now. Well, we're going to take them down on the beach, and they'll run along the beach, they'll put their toes in the water, maybe jump on the dock, and you know, at first it's kind of intimidating for them, but pretty quick they learn, again, we can achieve this, and so it's developed their self-confidence to the point that now we want to introduce another concept, and that is the concept of the lead dog, and we do that by going out on long walks in the woods. Only this time we take some retired lead dogs with us. Now, I consider the retired dogs the most important ones in the kennel because they'll teach the little guys by their example. Now, for instance, when we're going on a long walk, the older lead dogs will run out in front, and the puppies, there's a dog that's independent. The lead dogs will run out in front, and the puppies will chase after them. And then I'll call that older leader back, they'll run to me, and the puppies will chase it back. And when we do that again and again, the puppies start learning a couple valuable skills. Number one, they learn, listen to my voice, because they've discovered that when they hear my voice, something important happens, and we need that when we teach commands. But second, and by far the most important thing they learn, is to always follow the lead dog, because that's the dog that ultimately brings them safely home, and they need that skill when they go in harness for the first time.
I think you got a future granted right here. This guy is really curious. Now, eventually graduation's going to occur. They'll get a harness on for the first time. Is that traumatic at all, or does it come naturally?
Well, you know, actually we want to make sure that it's a logical and easy progression for them to go into harness. It's not, there you go, now there's a photo op for you guys. We want to make sure that it's, you know, a logical thing for them to expect, and but we have to make sure that all the elements are there so that they will succeed. So in other words, they have to be big enough, strong enough, and fast enough. Now you can see these little guys are too small for that. So it usually happens about 6 months of age, but also it's important that they're ready mentally. In other words, has the instinct to pull kicked in. And what you're seeing right here, right now, is you're seeing the instinct to pull in these dogs. You know, we're not forcing them to go or asking them or even making them go. They are going because they instinctively they want to, and they love working together as part of a team. Now, I'm hooking up 10 dogs today, but there'll be times when I can hook up to 20 dogs. That means the team is, you know, almost 100 feet long. With those great leaders, we can safely do it. But we'll never hitch up for the first time just a team of puppies, because if we did, it'd be like first grade with no teacher. It would be total pandemonium, as you can see. So you need them to focus on those lead dogs, and then everything will be okay. Now in the summer, of course, we can't use sleds, so I modified this four-wheeler to substitute, but everything else is just the same. And the modifications are, number one, I removed the engine. There's nothing there to help me go forward except the dogs. Number two, I've reinforced these brakes because I have to have some control on the corners here because it's quite a trip. But if I wasn't tied off to this rope here that you can see is pretty much stretched to the limit, they'd be dragging me out of this area already. It's really pretty remarkable how much power you get on here. So as soon as we get that last dog in line, I'm going to take off and I'm going to go on a little trip right around the lake here, and I'll be able to give you a call on the radio and let you know how it's going.
Okay, David, hang on tight. I'm sorry they don't want to go very badly. Look at this. Look at this. And all he said was hike, like snapping a football. We don't say mush. Sergeant Preston said mush on the radio. We don't say that. We say hike or all right. Now, here they come, right behind the vet barn. He did a 180, and they're going to head north here for a second. And they are picking up speed and looking good. Now, while we can't see him, let me orient you real quick, because what he's going to do is go down behind the house that he and Susan built, which is obscured by the bushes. But very soon we'll see him on the far side, and he's going to run down that back stretch and then do a tight left turn and come all the way back. And you'll be able to spot him from where you're seated or standing. But if you lose him, depend on the video, because Brody's going to have him on the video as soon as we see him on the far side of the lake, which should be pretty soon. There they are.
Side of the lake. I think you can see us flying along. We're going about 20 miles an hour, which is really remarkable when you consider that the four-wheeler and I together weigh over 600 pounds, and they're pulling us along like we don't weigh anything at all. It's really a tremendous athletic achievement on the part of the dogs. But you need that, because on the Iditarod and the Yukon Quest, they're 1,000-mile races, and we have to be able to go over 100 miles a day, day after day, and that means each dog has to do their fair share of the work. I'm coming up to a sharp corner. I have to give them a command and sign off, but I'll talk to you on the way back.
Now, he came to